Council members and members of the public, my name is Phil Cohen. On January 20th, I came before the City Council and I asked Ms. Castellano, Ms. Mason, Mr. Occhipinti, and Mr. Russo a question, and I never got an answer. The question was this: will you agree to cover the city's costs opposing your manufactured lawsuit against Hoboken's taxpayers, or do you seriously expect Hoboken's taxpayers to pick up the $16,163.08 tab? Tonight, I'm here to report that the bill you're sticking to the Hoboken taxpayer continues to pile up. I'd like to hand up these invoices I received in response to my public records request, and Jerry, if you could stop the time. These invoices now total $20,206.41 for only 3 months of Hoboken's legal fees for a case you've dragged out for 6 months with no end in sight. Remember what this lawsuit was about? One thing: was Jim Doyle properly appointed to the City Council? On February 1st, Judge Bariso decided the case, and you lost. This is what Judge Bariso said: Mayor Zimmer correctly used her power to cast a tie-breaking vote. This court cannot countenance the notion that the municipal vacancy law was intended to encourage gamesmanship. Now, some people sitting in your shoes, folks who were elected to serve the citizens of Hoboken, might think, after reading Judge Bariso's February 1 opinion, well, we took our shot. Jim Doyle should have been appointed last September. We successfully prevented him from serving the council for 5 months. So let's just get on with it, accept reality, and focus on important things like rebuilding our parks ruined by Hurricane Sandy or finishing the September 11th memorial. But this is Hoboken, where being a minority member of the City Council means never having to say you're sorry. So you decided to appeal and drag out this case some more. Now, I've served on the Hoboken Zoning Board for 4 years as an unpaid volunteer commissioner. And maybe because there's no Channel 78 videocast of our zoning board meetings, or maybe because we're just good citizens who care, but the 7 commissioners and 4 alternates on the zoning board work well together and actually respect each other. It didn't matter whether you were appointed by Mayor Russo or Mayor Roberts, or whether you were appointed by someone who appointed Tim Occhipinti or Mike Lenz. It didn't matter. On the zoning board, we all worked well together, and we did the people's business together. And make no mistake, the zoning board is a working board, where we hear meetings at applications at every meeting, and each application is important to each applicant and to each one of the applicant's neighbors. And I'd like to hand out a printout from the city's website, and Jerry, if you could stop the time for that. Since January 1st, 4 vacancies on the zoning board. And as long as the council minority's appeal drags out, this dysfunctional 4-4 city council won't even consider filling the zoning board vacancies. Now, I'd like to give Councilman Occhipinti credit for agreeing to meet with me in December, talk to me over a cup of coffee, when I reached out to him to discuss my interest in serving on the zoning board and being reappointed, despite the fact that we have a 4-4 gridlock city council. We had an honest discussion, and we didn't agree about much on Hoboken politics, but we did have a good talk. And after our meeting, he told me that Councilman Russo wanted to talk. So I texted Michael, and he texted me. Michael ultimately decided he didn't want to meet me, so we never met. But he did go out of his way to attack me from the council dais for even trying to sit down with him to discuss my candidacy for the zoning board position, which had expired. So drag out the appeal of your dismissed lawsuit, refuse to even consider compromising on zoning board vacancies, and stick every Hoboken taxpayer with the bill for fighting your lawsuit and fighting your appeal. So let me conclude by asking Ms. Castellano, Ms. Mason, Mr. Occhipinti, and Mr. Russo the same question that I asked you February 20th, and maybe you'll answer this time. Will you 4 agree to cover the city's costs for opposing your dismissed lawsuit that you filed against Hoboken's taxpayers, or do you seriously expect Hoboken's taxpayers to pick up this $20,206.41 tab? Thank you.